Here we are again, team.
So what are we going to talk about today, Norm?
Well, we get asked this a lot on this channel, especially when we were traveling,
Yes.
is why do we keep an apartment instead of becoming digital nomads or constant travelers? So we're going to explain that to you today.
But before we do that, we are Tina and Norm, and we talk all things retirement, finances, lifestyle, and travel when we can.
And if you're new to our channel, you're very welcome, and we would be honoured if you would consider subscribing to us. And to all our existing subscribers, we just want to say how very grateful we are that you join us every Saturday, and we see that as a great privilege.
It's wonderful. And if you'd like to also give us that thumbs up, that's great, and it really helps our channel grow.
So, we are not digital nomads.
No, we're not.
We do have an apartment, and what's the idea behind that, Teen?
You know what, Norm? It's maybe just not one reason. It's many reasons, isn't it, that we keep the apartment? And we're going to talk about those now in a little bit more detail.
So when we come back from traveling, that is one of the major things. We have somewhere to come to. As soon as we touch down from a foreign trip and we drive out of the airport, it feels like home. We get through our front door here, and it's just like putting on a comfortable pair of old slippers.
It's a wonderful feeling, isn't it, Norm? We
It
just
is for us.
come in and we sort of go, phew, like we're home. It's a wonderful feeling. It's our happy place, and it's great to be back, isn't it?
And we can slouch on the couch and do nothing and just chill out and catch our breath from being traveling. And there is absolutely no pressure at all at that moment of coming home.
It's wonderful, isn't it?
And I think that is something that having home where you have access to family and friends as we age, it's important, isn't it, Teen?
Absolutely, it is, Norm. We love connecting with, as Norm said, both family and friends. And this is a really important thing too in retirement as well. And as you're getting older, is to socialize and keep in contact with people. It gives you that good feeling in life, doesn't it?
Because when we're traveling, sometimes it's quite isolating, especially when there's a foreign language. There is a bit of a barrier to making friendships in foreign countries. Whereas when we come home, we see our friends and we chat and we have stories to tell because we've been away. And it's just a great interaction. It gives us a psychological feeling as well of a well-being, of belonging somewhere. Because, otherwise it's just like being cast adrift in a boat.
It's funny too, Norm, because even when you're traveling and it's exciting that you're going to new places, it can be quite isolating in a way. It's just the two of us.
Yep.
You're staying in a place, you're going shopping or you're going to restaurants or something, but you are kind of isolated, although you're enjoying a new experience. So that's why we really appreciate socializing when we get back, isn't it?
The other thing that we don't find appealing is having to find somewhere every 30 days or 60 days to move on. So you arrive at a place for a month, say. Well, within a couple of weeks, you're thinking about where are we going next? We're going to be homeless in less than 2 weeks.
When we get out, so you've really got to revert to planning mode again, haven't you? You've got to book the next flights, find the next place to stay. And that kinds of lead us into, Norm, something that we have now found, the fact that we are also looking for accommodation. But over the last couple of years, the pricing of places like Airbnb and VRBO, the prices have shot up.
They have. They've at least doubled, if not trebled.
So before, I think it used to be a more, or looked at as an economical way of being a nomad. Now it's actually a lot more money.
It was a cheap
Yeah,
lifestyle before,
yeah,
and the trouble is, you end up going to Europe, say, and experiencing and traveling in that, whereas you've got the 26 countries that make up the Schengen region.
yeah.
You only have 90 days, and then you have to leave 26 countries in Europe and find somewhere else to go.
It's a lot of pressure, isn't it?
It really is.
And for us, it's sort of more stress than we really want, isn't it? Our idea is to be retired and have less stress
The
rather than more stress.
the trouble is, you just get to a
Yeah,
place for, say, a month's stay or 2 months. Uh, But for a month's stay, you've just figured out the lay of the land, and
yeah,
then you're leaving again.
yeah. It is strange sometimes, isn't it?
One of the number one things I like about having an apartment as a home base, as a traveller, is I got somewhere to keep my stuff.
That's
It's
so
not in some,
true, isn't it?
it's not in some damp storage
No, or in it,
locker.
or even just in a suitcase. Norm. It's we know where everything is, isn't it? When we come back,
It is,
and it is a great feeling, isn't it?
yeah.
Yeah.
This is fairly unique and has only just happened, but it has the potential to happen again. With COVID-19, it came pretty quickly out of nowhere. And we were in Portugal at the time. We could see it was getting worse, but luckily we'd already were due to leave in February of 2020. But there are people that got trapped in countries because a lot of countries closed their borders, and many flights were cancelled. So you could be staying in a country that you didn't want to be in for a couple of months until those borders
Yeah.
opened up. And that's a big danger of being traveling and getting caught in something like a pandemic.
In actual fact, Norm, we've actually had some of our viewers who have come on and said that they've been trapped a lot longer than a couple of months.
Yeah.
We were lucky, weren't we? We had our flight booked, so within 2 weeks we were back home here. But these are very unusual circumstances, and regulations changing governments all the time, aren't they?
So I think the main thing that we're not a digital nomad and why we maintain the apartment is we believe it reduces a lot of stress
Yeah.
and it adds to our psychological well-being of knowing that we belong somewhere in the world.
Yeah,
So
it's a nice feeling, isn't
it
it?
really is, and
Yeah.
it's great to slouch on the couch.
And the other thing too is, Norm, remember, we don't have to worry about it when we're away. We just lock the door and away you go.
We don't own this place, we
Nope.
just rent it. So we
It's a
basically, once we lock the door, we don't worry about the
no,
place.
and it's a really nice feeling, isn't it?
So we hope that everybody is keeping well,
And staying safe.
and until the next time,
Bye bye.
bye bye.